between a true 1 rep max and a daily max. So let's just, for argument's sake, I use myself an example. I did a meet on Saturday and I hit 515 on a squat. So that's my true 1 rep max. So a daily 1 rep max for me would look something, I guess, I don't know, what would that look like? So use my numbers and go ahead and, I guess, devise that same routine so the listeners get an idea.
Okay, so you'd warm up how you typically would, probably up to around 80% or so. So just whatever type of warm-up you would typically do, up to around 80% of your max. And then take smaller jumps from there. So probably go 405, 425, 435, 445. Then you're getting close to 90%. For most people who are pretty new to the program, a daily max will be somewhere around high 80s, low 90s to start with, percent-wise. Once you've been at it for a while, it's not that uncommon for your daily max to kind of creep up to 95, 97% of your actual 1 rep max. You do just, it's a skill. You get really good at lifting really heavy weights, and it starts becoming very, very second nature to you. And so you'd probably, work up to about 445, 455, taking about 3-4% jumps, and then move to just working up maybe in 5 or 10 pound increments. Probably for you, starting with somewhere up to around 465, maybe 475, 485, and then that somewhere around there would probably be your daily max. Just whenever you start grinding reps, or whenever you feel yourself starting to feel like you need to get psyched up for the next one, or if your form starts breaking down at all, then you're done for the day. And then you would drop back 10-15%. So let's say you worked up to 465, you would drop back to 420, 415, 425, 405, somewhere around there, and do 3 to 6 sets of 2 to 3 to round out your squat training. And then you do basically the same thing with bench.
Got it. So
yep.
Now there's a big difference between a true 1 rep max, which is like we said, and a daily max. So that daily max, that could pretty much change every day. So if one day, let's just say I went in and I felt like crap, and for whatever reason 455 felt super heavy, I would just stop right there.
Yep.
So it's definitely a totally different approach than, all these other calculations that people use and all these other different types of programs. So it's really pretty much going by feel. So do you think that helps you adapt to the program a little bit better?
Yeah, and I found that some people, so a lot of people do very, very well with it. The people who do poorly, I find that they kind of fall into one of two categories. One is just some people give it a shot and they're just not physically ready for it. And this is another thing I say in the Bulgarian manual. If you haven't been training hard for at least 3 or 4 years, don't even try it. Leave this on the table, leave it in the back of your mind, maybe come back to it in a few years. But, you need to have been training long enough to just have some base level of work capacity build up, and then also have enough experience lifting heavy weights that you understand your body pretty well. You know when you're feeling worn down, and you know how to lift heavy without your form breaking down too much. So some people, they're just not physically ready for the program. They don't have enough experience lifting heavy weights yet, and they just shouldn't have tried it in the first place. And then some people, they just don't know how to take a bad day, and that's. If you're training heavy 5, 6, 7 days a week, you're probably not going to have a fantastic training session every single time. And so, some days, I use this to push my squat max up to 650. That's the highest it got during that run. And so, it got up over 6 pretty quickly. And there were some days where I was grinding a little bit at 515, 525, 85% of my max or so. And, I was just whatever, I'm squatting again tomorrow. If I shut it down here, that's fine. Live to fight another day.
Yeah, exactly.
And some people, they are so focused in the short term that they feel like every training session, like they have to hit like a certain level, maybe like 95% of their 1 rep max on their daily max every single day. And they just don't have that mindset of, sometimes you just suck it up, take a bad session, and then come in tomorrow and try to do better.